Hello, welcome back to the office of puzzle solving brilliance. Today's a big day. Today we are tackling the Hanayama Quartet Puzzle. Now from what I've read, from what I've seen other people saying, this is, first of all, it's a level 6 out of 6, so it doesn't get much tougher in terms of Hanayama's difficulty rating. But I've also seen people claim that this is the hardest Hanayama puzzle that they have done. So, today is going to be a question of two things. Number one is, can we disassemble the quartet puzzle in the first place? And number two is, where does it rank on my scale of easiest to hardest Hanayama puzzles that we've done so far? There's only one way to answer both of those questions, so let's get on with it. So this is it, the quartet puzzle. Now, as you would expect, it is made up of 4 bits and yeah, what looks like 2 interlocking squares, but they're fairly loose, which is, I guess, obvious looking at sort of the shape of them, but it makes it hard to believe that it's going to be tough to solve, given how loose each part is. So you've almost got like 2 layers of it. You've got this bottom half on one layer and this top half on a layer above it or below it, and then the gap between those things, if we use this one, is just there. So I'm guessing that 2 bits separate by sort of turning on each other and coming apart like that. But is the trick to split these 2 and these 2, or is it to get one apart, then another bit apart, and then another bit apart? We shall see. All the bits look exactly the same at the minute. I'll check that properly once we've got to grips with the movements and how each bit moves around. Now usually with the level 6 puzzles there are steps to getting them solved. There's not one position where they all just fall apart. There tends to be a sequence to it, which I'm going to assume is the same thing for this one. At the minute I'm just getting a feel for what movements there are around. Seems like these 2 have sort of rotated them that way. Rotating feels quite nice. Don't know whether it'll help us in any way, but it feels good. In terms of getting pieces apart, like with these being the only gaps in it, you've got to be a point where we get these gaps opposite another set of gaps and another bit. Now whether that's from the same sort of interlocking square, or whether it's the opposite set of squares, I guess, for the lack of a better term, we'll have to figure out. I'm not sure where each piece is right now in relation to where we started, but yeah, let's just keep fiddling. I'm going to try and put one bit back to where it was and then see if we can make any progress from there. See, here I've got one set of squares almost opposite each other. So I'm trying to line up the gap in this one here with that gap in there. I'm not exactly sure how I got to here, but I feel like it's a good position to be in. Oh, and we're back to where we were. Maybe I wasn't making any progress then. See, now there's not that many movements that can be done from what I can see so far. And at the minute I'm leaning towards that the solution for this is going to be separating the 2 squares from each other. So you have 2 squares here and 2 squares here. There's certain positions where you can sort of rotate things around, or 2 of them around the other 2. Okay, back to the drawing board. So I've got a feeling for like various different movements, but it doesn't seem to be much variance, so we can rotate those fairly simply. What else can we do? Ooh. See, that bit can now come over there. That feels very good. Not sure how we got to that. That is good. At least I think it's good because we seem to have separated. Ooh, it's... Yeah, so we've almost flipped this one around. That is good news. That is good news. Step 1 possibly complete. That feels very stiff now, but yeah, we've sort of separated the two. These two bits. So, I'm not exactly sure how, but I feel like the next thing is to do exactly the same with these two. But now it feels much more awkward to move things around. I'm not sure which two bits I've separated. I'm not sure. I feel like these two were a pair and these two were a pair, but I can't get these two back together as a pair, which is either very good. No, I don't know whether it's very good or not. But it would be convenient to know which bit is where right now. Or which bit started where, sorry. We've got those to there. I'm not sure how, but we've got them to there. Ooh, see now, yeah, we can unhook that one completely. We can unhook that one completely. I think I've done it. There we go. Wow, that was nowhere near as long as I thought it'd be. 21 minutes to solve a level 6, or the level 6 quartet puzzle. I'm very, very happy with that. Well done, Ross. Well done, me. So interestingly, I've only just realised that not all 4 bits are the same. So you've got these 2 bits which are the same, which fit together, and then these 2 bits which are different but the same, sort of 2 pieces, and they fit together as well. So I'm not exactly sure how I did that. It was obviously a case of all 4 sort of connecting together and then twisting them around to get to where they are originally, but yeah, we'll probably learn a little bit more from putting it back together than we did from taking it apart. So let's see how we get on.
Wow, there it is.
Oh man, there we go. That took a lot longer than taking it apart. So there it is. We managed to disassemble and then reassemble the quartet puzzle. Disassembling was much easier than reassembling. Taking it apart wasn't potluck. I sort of was trying to do certain things, but I didn't realise how it was opening, which made putting it back together much harder. I think taking it apart took about 20 minutes, something like that, which was, yeah, much quicker than anticipated. Putting it back together took a lot longer. It took about an hour and a half, or just over an hour and a half to put it back together, and that's with breaks in the middle as well. If I look more tired right now than I did at the start of the video, that's because I am, because it was quite a draining one. There was a lot of thought going into, the reassembling more than the disassembling this time around. Putting it back together, I did sort of figure it out, or I realised when those moves were happening, whereas disassembling, I think I noticed one, and I couldn't tell you what move that was. Overall, very tough puzzle. It's on terms of the scale, so again, this is the easiest puzzle, this is the hardest puzzle, that is the order, or my order. This isn't the toughest one. It's not quite gonna beat the hourglass puzzle here. If we work our way down, it's not harder than the hourglass puzzle. That is still the toughest by quite a distance. Then it is the vortex puzzle, and purely based on how quick it took us to take it apart, this one isn't quite as hard as the vortex. So the vortex is going to keep its second place. In third place, we currently have the equa. There was a lot of luck when I solved the equa puzzle. There was a lot of luck involved in getting it open. I didn't realise that at the time, but after I thought, wow, yeah, I did get ridiculously lucky with that one. However, it is easier. The quartet is tougher than the equa, I think. Yes it is. The quartet is tougher than the equa. So, the quartet is going to sit in third place. It is the third hardest puzzle we have done, and I'm genuinely running out of space in here now. So there we go. Level 6 quartet puzzle done. 19 puzzles tried, 19 puzzles solved, 100% record still. Thank you very much for being here. If you want to see me solving these other puzzles, or if you want to see some step-by-step solutions to these puzzles, then click those videos just over there to see me solving puzzles and the solutions to those puzzles in the future, and click my face here to subscribe. Comment below with anything you want to comment below with, and I will see you later. Peace.